We continue in James 1, and we want to understand, we want to see and grasp the very nature, character, the heart, and the will of God. This is really, really important. And it's important for you to understand this, to grasp this. This is your God, your Father, your Creator, the one who has called you into relationship and fellowship, intimacy with Him. So James chapter 1, and today we're going to read verses 17 and 18 because it's really, really important. And then we continue on Friday's video in the next two verses. So remember what we said from Monday. Don't be deceived. Don't be deceived. That's what James says. And then he says, every good gift and every perfect gift. So the gifts that are good and that are perfect, he says, every one is from above, referring to your Father, referring to God, and comes down from, it comes from the Father of lights, with whom there is no variation or shadow of turning. So let's just think about this verse, what James is telling us, and he's revealing to us about God. He's showing us, this is what Jesus came to reveal to us. Jesus came to tell us, because Jesus came to reveal the Father, to reveal God. No one at any time has ever seen God, but the only begotten Son, Jesus, the incarnation here, this is God incarnate. He has declared him. So he tells us now that what God gives is good and it's perfect, and they're gifts. It is given to you for you by your Father of light. And notice this, when John tells us in 1 John that this is the message, this is what it all boils down to. God is light, and in him there is no darkness. James is telling us something very similar. He's saying this is your Father who is pure, who is good. He gives good gifts. He gives perfect gifts. He's giving nothing else but what is pure, good, and perfect. And if I have the wrong concept of him, I will think of him in different terms. But this term says that he's incredible. He is good. He doesn't change. There is no variation, no shadow, even a hint of turning in him. He is your Father who is pure, who gives good gifts, and he has no inclination, no idea, no desire, no plans to give you anything other than good and perfect gifts, to no possibility of him ever being anything but what he is, which is pure, good, and perfect. That's what he's telling us in verse 17, and it's really important that we get that. Verse 18, of his own will, his desire, his determination, nobody else's. This says it was his choice, his desire, his will. He brought us, make that personal, he brought you, he brought me forth by the word of truth, that we might be a kind of first fruits of his creatures. Now, what is he saying there? He says God desired to bring you forth. It was his decision, his choice. You weren't and you are not an accident. God chose your existence. He created you. He made you. When it says to be a kind of first fruits, it means of the type and kind that he is. This goes all the way back to Genesis. And in the beginning, he created man, male and female, in his likeness and his image. You are created in God's image and likeness. You are his type, first fruits, the most valued and precious and special of all his creation. That's what he says. You don't exist by accident. You exist because he determined that. And notice here it says you were brought forth by the word of truth. Now, who is the word? Who is the truth? And these Greek words are referring to that. It is the Logos, the Word. John says, in the beginning was the Word. Jesus himself declared, I am the way, the truth, and the life. By Jesus, through whom and in whom you were created and all things are made. You were brought forth by God's decision through Jesus to be his fruit, his offspring. I want you to dwell upon these verses and what he's saying about God is good. He gives good gifts. He chose you. He determined you. He brought you forth by his own word to be the manifestation, the offspring of himself. He is your Father. Period. Complete thought. Selah. Dwell on that. And Friday we continue in the next two verses to understand our Father even more.